FitMC. Don't mind me, I'm just admiring my duped golden apples. What's going on, everybody? This is FitMC, and something has happened on 2B in the past week that will change the server forever. I've been duping non-stop on multiple accounts just because of this massive duplication glitch. It's the biggest one 2B2T has ever had. Even bigger than the minecart duplication glitch from years ago. This thing is server breaking. I'm on my Fit account right now in the end, and I've duped just a little bit on this account. These items that you see in these chests are all going into shulker boxes, which will then go into my main ender chest. These will be bare necessities that will help me survive on the server for the next couple of years. This dupe is being called the 1111 dupe, and the reason that is because November 11th is when the dupe glitch actually started to get circulated among the 2B2T player circles. So we will always remember 1111 as the day 2B2T's economy changed forever. There are so many god apples in circulation now, we almost will never run out of them, even though they've been discontinued through the crafting grid. There's no telling what is going to happen to 2B2T over the next year because of this dupe. So many new, high-level items have come into existence because of this dupe. And not only that, but we've duped Witherheads, TNT, Slime Blocks, even Obsidian. Every item you could imagine has been duped to hell and back. There's no telling what's going to happen to 2B2T in the next year. Many players that joined during the Rusher conflict, so newer players, are starting to arm themselves with this glitch. They have high-level items and things that only veterans had access to. They're starting to level the playing field. Spawn is going to become very, very, very dangerous over the next few months. Old players are going to be releasing withers day in and day out. Newer players with their new gear will be coming to fight. It's going to be a bloodbath. You have to be very careful around 0-0, both Overworld and Nether these days. There's no telling who or what might show up. There are so many ramifications of this dupe that I haven't even talked about yet. So hopefully you're sitting down for this because this is a doozy. Long story short, the dupe caused multiple players to get backdoored, caused all the maps to get used up on 2B2T, which means no more maps can actually be made. And it also resulted in us discovering that the paid queue, the one that Rusher owns, is actually faster to get into the server than the veteran queue. The dupe has led to all of these discoveries. It's been absolutely insane. So allow me to explain everything. The dupe at a basic level involved getting yourself kicked from the server while dropping any item at the same time. If you did it to the exact frame, it would actually create a duplicate of the item that you dropped. Now, using this, we were able to acquire vast amounts of items in a relatively short time. Though the way I did it was manually, just getting myself kicked for flying while dropping an item at the exact same time. Even though we considered this really fast, it wasn't fast enough for a lot of players. They wanted an even faster method of duping. So some of the 2B2T players actually made clients specifically for the dupe. But anyone that's been on 2B2T long enough knows, never trust a client from anyone on 2B2T. A lot of players learned that the hard way years ago. And sure enough, a lot of regulars like Oftopia, Netta-T, the Judge Holden, and many others used these clients without even examining the source code. And you guessed it, they were backdoored, which means that their clients were telling a specific group of players where exactly they were. And this led to people finding their dupe stashes. Stashes that had been worked on for over a week were now targets. In their greed for more items, a lot of these players forgot the number one rule, which is to never use a client made by another 2B player. I'm actually surprised at how many old players actually used this client. What were they thinking? Especially a lot of old players from 2011 used this thing. I have no sympathy for anyone that lost a dupe stash this way. You knew this was going to happen. The dupe has had some unintended consequences. One of them is that many players have duped empty maps and used them up in order to reach the map limit on 2B2T. On any Minecraft world, there's a hard limit put in place by Mojang of no more than 32,767 maps. You cannot make more maps than this number. And 1 week ago, the map count on 2B2T was around 14,000, which means that in the past week, players have duped enough maps to hit this limit. Now maps that are generated after this 32K mark come out as map number 0 and have odd things on them, or sometimes nothing at all. They are glitched maps, not even correlating to where the player is standing. Now that all of that's out of the way, I want to talk about the significance of this event. This is the first major server event that has happened since the end of the Russia War. This is the first time a lot of players have had actual access to a dupe. Literally anyone could log in and use this thing, and it was being used like that. You could hit tab and see players rapidly connecting and disconnecting at all times. It was bugging out. The players were actually disconnecting so fast that it was lagging the server to the point where we were down to 1 TPS. It was absolutely insane, and I haven't seen anything like that in a very long time. But we are on the verge of an event. What has happened over the past week is going to have lasting effects on 2B2T. We have all these new players that have been armed. We've got old players that have re-armed. We have a refreshed player base. Resources have been replenished back to 2013 levels. Who knows what could happen? This could be an era of peace, where everyone gets along because everyone has the equal amount of arms that they need. Or it could be an era of destruction. People going to spawn day in and day out, raiding each other's dupe stashes, fighting between the old players. All I know is I'm going to try and stay out of it. Since the end of the war, like I said, I'm no leader anymore. I'm just an explorer, an adventurer, a looter, you name it. Just trying to acquire materials, acquire artifacts. Just like the old days. I don't want any part of this power struggle. We are living on a different server now. We are living on a server that has a coordinate exploit that can never be fixed. We're living on a server that has had so many items duped in the past week that they will be in circulation literally for years. They will still be popping up from time to time. We're living on a server where now it's about hiding what you have and just hoarding as many items as you possibly can. And with the release of 1.11 very, very close, shulker boxes are going to change everything. A lot of what we have duped, we can now put into the safety of our ender chests. Thousands of spaces of storage space now available to us. There won't be as many stashes on the overworld anymore, which means it's highly unlikely that newer players are going to wander upon these stashes. What this entire ordeal has proven, though, is that no matter how many things change on 2B, things always stay the same. There's always a new dupe. There's always a new glitch. There's always a way to exploit players and find out exactly where they are. And it's always the same group of old players pulling the strings from behind the curtain. For now, My journey in the end continues, and once 1.11 hits, I'll be stocking up on shulker shells, and then I'm going to leave back to the overworld to explore, to tour bases, to fight, to do whatever is necessary to survive in this hellhole. And a lot of people still don't realize just how seriously many of the players on 2B take Minecraft. They take it very seriously. And I'd be lying too if I didn't say I didn't take it a little bit seriously. But that's life. That's life in anarchy for you. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. So we'll see what happens over the next few months because of this dupe, but I will keep you posted as always. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you next time.